I have is having a first round bye in college football playoffs a bad thing. Now, this all started last year. Of course, last year's rules are way different from this year's rules. Last year's rules, the highest ranked conference champions were in. So it was Oregon, Arizona State, Georgia, and Boise State who had the first round byes. And now this year, it's just the top 4 ranked teams in the country who get the first round byes. So this year it was Indiana, Ohio State, Georgia, and Texas Tech who have gotten their first round byes. Now, out of those 8 teams in the first round byes, do you want to know what the record is? Out of those 8 teams who played first round bye games in the college football playoffs, only one team. They're 1-7 in first round byes in the college football playoffs. And who is the only team to win that game? Indiana. They beat Alabama last week 38-3. Now, my problem is with the first round byes. I have no issues with them, but my only issue is, why are they sitting out so long? They sit out longer than the NFL has the division leader when they get into the playoffs. That is my question. Why are these teams sitting out so long? Because whenever they played their last conference championship game, look at Indiana, look at Ohio State, because they played each other, look at Georgia, Texas Tech, and even if you want to go last year with Oregon, Arizona State, Georgia, and Boise State, the last time they all played their conference championship game was December the 6th, right? They didn't play again until December 31st or January 1st. That was the last time we've seen them play. That was the last time. From December 6th to December 31st or January 1st. That you know how long that is? That's like 2 to 3 weeks. And people say, oh, well, they got to be prepared. You had enough time to prepare and everything. Yeah, that's enough time to prepare. But guess what? That's a lot of time of relaxation. Especially if another team I'm playing against just played their first round. And they're coming in hot and heavy. And don't let it be if they won on their home field. They're definitely having a lot of confidence. They're definitely coming in hot and heavy. People say, oh, they got to be prepared. Yes, like I said, you do have to be prepared. Indiana proved it. But at the same time, that's like if I go to the gym on a Monday and then I do a very intense workout and then I take the next week, 1 to 2 weeks off. You try to get back in that gym, you're going to be rusty. You're going to be rusty versus the guy who's gone in there like basically every week. There's going to be major differences to the both of you. I'm telling you. Even like playing sports for fun. You stop playing the sport that you want to play for fun for about almost a month. And you see what happens when you try to get back on that field or get back on the court. You're going to be rusty. You're going to be rusty. And I think if you're going to have the first round byes, I think they're a great idea. But we got to shorten the length of how long the teams and the players get a break. Because, yeah, that's a lot of preparation, like I said. But that's a lot of relaxation sitting in your dorm or sitting in the apartment, getting to go get food and everything. Like, that's a lot of stuff. That's a lot. And especially when these kids are traveling, right? You know one thing people like to do. I tell everybody, a lot of people are food junkies. Everybody is a food junkie for something. You know how much food they're going to be eating because they don't get that food back where they live at, where they play college at. They don't got that same food 9 times out of 10. And even if they do got the same food, a burger, say like for example, a burger in Texas is not going to taste the same as a burger in Miami. It's not going to taste the same. It ain't. It's going to be different. Trust me, I know. But my thing is, I agree with what Dan Lanning said. We need to have a game every single week in the national championship on New Year's Day. Move the bowl games to week 0. I agree with what he said. I agree with it. I was going to make a bowl game video. Should we move it to the beginning of the season? But I honestly agree, because guess why? You have the transfer portal. You got your guys who you transferred in. You got some new high school recruits. They come in, and basically your team is fresh, ready, and they're down to play football. Nobody can opt out because it ain't the end of the season. It's a lot more at stake. Everything like that. And all these people having this conference, this and that debate, we get to see them put the test. We get to see it put to the test. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will have more videos out there for you.